I ranked every move that interacts with weather from worst to best. Some of these moves aren't that great outside weather, while others can function well regardless. Although for this list, I will be considering their performance in weather more than outside of it. We are going to look at how useful and impactful they are in competitive singles and doubles formats. We are only ranking moves that have special interactions with weather, so no, I won't be ranking every fire move boosted by sun or every water move boosted by rain. We have 16 moves to rank, and they're all pretty good. Let's get into it, buds. In the bottom spot, we have the move Solar Blade. At 125 base power, this is the strongest physical grass type move in the game. So why is it in the bottom spot? While it isn't a terrible move on sun teams, it is the least commonly seen move on this list, and not necessarily even worth using on sun teams. It is a 2-turn move outside of weather, charging on the first and attacking on the second, so using it outside of sun isn't really in the question, bar a power herb set for a draft league tech. It's also weakened if any other weather is up, which does this move dirty for sure. A lot of the good chlorophyll users are special attackers and prefer Solar Beam, while physically leaning chlorophyll users will usually run Leaf Blade. Leaf Blade's reliability and still solid power makes it the all-around better move to use, as you will not lose your grass stab outside of weather. The lack of synergy with this move in Sunsetters definitely hurts as well. There is just not too much demand for Solar Blade on grass types when Leaf Blade is right there. Jumping into the top 15, we have the move Growth. This is a stat boosting move that benefits from sun being up. When used outside of sun, this move raises attack and special attack by 1 stage each. This doubles to 2 stages each when in sun, making it like a Sword Stance and Nasty Plot all in one. This is a pretty solid move all things considered, and is seen on some sun sweepers, notably Venusaur. It just doesn't really push itself past the other weather-based moves. A lot of sun sweepers don't need to boost both their stats, so using a different boosting move is usually preferred if available, as it will be reliable outside of sun as well. You are also looking to use your sun turns wisely and will get a lot more use from attacking most of the time. The opportunity cost of this move slightly puts it lower on this list. On to spot 14, we get to the healing move Synthesis. This weather-based healing move replenishes the user by 50% of its max HP. Under sun, this is increased to a great 2/3, but under any other weather, the healing is decreased to 1/4. With this move being almost exclusive to grass types, it is the riskiest of the healing options. A lot of the users will not want to use this in sun due to being chlorophyll sweepers and having no room on their sets. Pokemons like Amoonguss and especially Florges get used from Synthesis, but they also have other healing options, ones that don't get neutered by other weather being up. Other grass types usually get by with the combination of different draining moves like Leech Seed, Giga Drain, and Strength Sap, so even though it is generally a good move and it has the same effect as some other moves we will cover, I definitely say Synthesis's distribution makes it least useful. In spot 13, I have the first signature Genie move. This goes to Sandsear Storm, the signature move of Landorus. This move has 100 base power and 80% accuracy, but cannot miss in the rain, which is why it's on this list. It also has a 20% burn chance, however this is pretty negligible as Landorus has a sheer force ability, which will negate the burn chance to power up the move. I mean, I guess you could use it on Lando T if you really want to burn. Now this move is very rarely seen in singles, as its slight power boost over Earth Power is not worth the 80% accuracy outside of rain. Earth Power is just a more consistent option. In doubles though, this move does see some solid usage. As a spread move, Landorus can dish some serious damage to grounded opponents. This is ideally paired with a rain setter to avoid missing. Giving Landorus a powerful spread stab attack was a good buff in doubles, but Lando still enjoys Earth Power in most situations. I also feel it would have made more sense to make this move never miss in a sandstorm, as we have enough moves that gain perfect accuracy in the rain.
Wow.
Overall, this is a solid move, just not as useful competitively as the ones coming up. In spot number 12, I'm going to put Wild Bolt Storm. This is the signature move of Thundurus, acting as kind of a midpoint between Thunderbolt and Thunder. It has 100 base power and 80% accuracy, paired with a 20% chance to paralyze. It also is not able to miss if rain is active. In singles, this move has almost zero practical use. Thunderbolt is 90 base power with 100% accuracy, so you'll see that normally. And if you're in rain, you will definitely prefer Thunder with its higher base power and higher chance to paralyze. Doubles though, this move is the go-to option for both Thundurus forms. Thundurus is great on rain squads, often being a setter itself. Being able to spam a 100% accurate electric type attack that hits both opponents and has a decent chance to paralyze is amazing. You don't play the Protect Mind games you would with Thunder or Thunderbolt, and even outside of rain, you will still have a decent chance to hit both targets. Overall, I put it ahead of Sandsear's Storm, as I think it is a more useful move competitively and has a more vital role for its users. Spot 11 is going to go to Moonlight, and Spot 10 to Morning Sun. These can honestly be interchanged depending on what mons you like, as there are great users that get access to these moves as their main recovery option. Moonlight has great users like Clefable, Cresselia, Lunala, and Blood Moon Ursaluna, while Morning Sun can be seen on Solgaleo, Gouging Fire, Arcanine, and Slitherwing. Necrozma also uses these moves, getting access to both. These moves are definitely more impactful competitively than Synthesis due to distribution, which was the main decision to put them higher up, despite being essentially the same move. I go over moves that accomplish the same thing in this video if you haven't checked it out yet. Moving to Spot 9, we'll see Bleakwind Storm. This is the last signature Genie move on this list and belongs to Tornadus. While matching the other Storm moves in power and accuracy, Bleakwind has a few traits that ranks it above them. First of all, a spread flying type move is very rare. I'm pretty sure the only other one is Air Cutter, which is a pretty weak move you wouldn't see run. Tornadus is able to spam this in the rain with no drawbacks, as the other Storm moves we covered each have immunities through types and abilities. Bleakwind Storm is only blocked by the rare Wind Rider ability, but the two mons that get that ability definitely aren't turning heads with their usage numbers. This is the only Storm move that makes sense to run in both singles and doubles, as it's actually an improvement in accuracy over Hurricane. While Hurricane is stronger and probably overall better in singles, Bleakwind will ultimately miss less. And in doubles, this move is a lot better for Tornadus to run, as it hits both opponents and has a really solid 30% chance to lower their speed stats by one stage. These traits give it the most competitive impact out of all the Genie moves in my opinion. In 8th position, I have the move Thunder. At 110 base power and 70% accuracy, its interaction with weather is bypassing accuracy checks to always hit if rain is active. It will also have its accuracy drop to 50% in harsh sunlight. Thunder offers a very scary secondary effect. That's a 30% chance to paralyze the target. Spamming Thunder in the rain feels like a luxury for an electric type. As long as you aren't a ground type, you are scared to be on the receiving end of this move. It has huge distribution, being a TM since Generation 1, and is a great move inside rain. We primarily see it on Kyogre, who is the only rain setter with access to the move. Other than that, you will see it here and there, like on Zapdos in Rain, or on Darkrai and Ubers. But not really enough to place it in the top 5 territory I initially had it shooting for. It's a move you won't see as much as you think you would, as the risk of using it outside of rain is too much instead of going for the ever reliable Thunderbolt. In the 7th spot, we get to the OG Solar Beam. This is a classic weather move that's been around forever, but it really is dependent on its weather to be a good move. This move will take a charging turn outside of Sun, and is usually not worth using outside of that archetype. It can be pretty solid as a surprise attack with a Power Herb on mons like Heatran, plus a lot of fire types have access to cover literally all of their weaknesses. It's still a really solid move and common to see, especially on Sunsetters. Torkoal, Megazard Y, and Ninetales all love having it to beat those water, ground, and rock types. But its reliance on the weather is definitely a hindrance, especially if countered by an opposing weather, which causes this move to not only take the charging turn, but also halves its power, giving you a charging move that hits at 60 base power. That's gotta be even worse than Razor Wind. These drawbacks keep it from being any higher on this list, despite its solid and lasting impact on Sun teams. Getting to spot 6, I actually have Weather Ball here. Before this move was a TM, widening its distribution, it would have been way lower. But now Weather Ball actually sees a lot of usage and is a very diverse move. This move starts as a 50 base power normal type move, But when weather is active, the base power is doubled to 100 and type change depending on the weather. This gives great coverage to weather sweepers and is often run as a stab attack on weather setters. Mons like Ninetales, Politoed, Torkoal, and Pelipper can use it as an option that is stronger than moves like Surf and Flamethrower, but don't have the accuracy downsides of the stronger Hydro Pump and Fire Blast. You can see Weather Ball and Chlorophyll Venusaur to deal with its checks. Mons like Charizard, Tornadus, Victory Bell, Walking Wake, and many more will run it. It is boosted additionally by Sun and Rain as well, making it extra good in those weathers. I'm glad this former Cast Form signature move was able to become a serious threat on weather teams. Moving into the top 5, hopefully this one doesn't confuse you. We have Hurricane here. Hurricane is a 110 base power flying type move that has 70% accuracy. Hurricane shares the same properties as Thunder, being unable to miss in rain while dropping to 50% accuracy in harsh sunlight. This was initially really close for me, but Hurricane definitely has more notable users and more overall impact competitively than Thunder. Its continued and varied use in singles and doubles push it into this top 5 spot. Hurricane has been a staple on so many special attacking flying types inside and outside of rain. It really is their best option if they want to hit hard. The Focus Blast level of accuracy definitely sucks, but this move at least packs a juicy 30% confusion chance if it lands. And it definitely seems like it confuses at least every other attack. On rain teams, this is a scary move to face off against, as nothing barring a Wind Rider user is immune. So you are still risking a confusion if you switch in a resist. Drizzle Pelipper loves using this combo, and other flying type mons like Zapdos, Mantine, Tornadus, Hisuian Braviary and Moltres, Iron Jugulus, Oricorio, and more, normally incorporated as their main stab attack. With the distribution widening, some non-flying types are able to use this move too. Most notably the Swift Swim Sweeper Kingdra and Sandaconda? Huh? Did anyone else know that? Sandaconda actually learns Hurricane. Adds a TM, since it's been released. That was definitely my trivia of the video while writing this script. This next one might be a controversial pick, but spot 4 is going to the move Shore Up. This is a signature healing move of Palossand, and in my opinion, the second best healing move in the game. It heals 50% of the user's max HP, like most other healing moves, but also carries a positive effect of healing 2/3 when Sandstorm is active. This is similar to the healing moves we've seen before, so why is it so much better? Well, unlike those 3 chumps, Shore Up doesn't care about other weathers being active. Shore Up will always heal at least 50% regardless. It just gets that extra bonus healing in Sandstorm. So even though this move is on a mediocre mon, it is such a great healing move and excellent on its lone user. Let me know if you'd want a video ranking every healing move, including moves from Ingrain and Leech Seed to Drain Punch and Recover. In spot number 3, we have the newest addition to the weather influence moves in Hydro Steam. This is a signature move of Walking Wake, and it is carried by its versatility. At 80 base power and 100 accuracy, this move looks like it's nothing too special, but it has the special property of being boosted 50% by both rain and sun. This lets Walking Wake synergize well on both of these weather teams, and with its ability Photosynthesis activating in the sun, Hydro Steam becomes super spammable. It is a solid move in and outside weather, but definitely is best when supported by sun. It's essentially a 120 base power, no drawback move most of the time, pushing it past the other great moves we just covered. In spot number 2, we finally get to one of the less popular weathers. This will go to the move Blizzard. Blizzard is an ice type attack with 110 power and 70% accuracy. Instead of rain, it can't miss in snow and has a 10% chance to freeze the targets. This move differs from the similar Thunder and Hurricane as it's a spread attack and doesn't drop accuracy in another weather. This makes it one of the most spammable attacks in doubles when Hail is up. Ice is an incredibly strong offensive type, having no immunities. Blizzard is blocked by Wind Rider, an ability that seems to keep coming up and counters half the moves in this video, but this doesn't bother it. Hail setters like Ninetales, Abomasnow, and Vanillux love spamming this powerful stab attack, and it is a solid coverage attack to use on other Pokemon. Blizzard Spam has seen growing use in doubles formats, with both Pokemon being able to spread great damage and potential freeze hacks. Ice Beam is definitely the preferred option in singles outside of snow teams for its reliability, but this is definitely the most threatening of these weather-based moves inside of its weather. So what's number 1? Well, before we get there, make sure you become a bud and hit that sub. I have plenty of bangers planned to close the year off that you won't want to miss. Also, join the Bud Zone Discord. We just had our first monthly tournament with nearly 50 of you competing. Congrats to fellow YouTuber Paladin on winning the Random Battle Invitational, beating out Blue Cobalt in a crazy final series. I ended up in 3rd place, losing to Blue Cobalt in the semifinals, but it was a great time hanging with all of you, and I can't wait for the next tourney. On to spot number 1. This is actually the only move that is straight up dependent on weather to work. This goes to the move Aurora Veil. Aurora Veil is an ice type move that only works when snow is active. This is for a good reason, as it has a busted effect. This move combines the effect of Light Screen and Reflect, so your team will take half damage from physical and special moves for 5 turns. This can be increased to 8 if the user is holding the item Light Clay, which users usually are. Despite hail and snow being arguably the weakest weathers throughout competitive history, this buff definitely gives it a huge reason to use. Every snow setter gains access to it, making it easy for them to set it up. Other Pokemon can even set it up in doubles, paired with a snow setter, and it will still last when snow ends, meaning you only need it to be active the turn you're using Aurora Veil. It makes it super annoying to break through teams, as only a few moves can get rid of screens, and they aren't always the most common. Offensive hail and snow teams definitely saw a lot more play thanks mostly to this move, and I think when considering impact inside of weather, this is the top move of them all. Do you agree with these rankings? What would you move up or down? Let me know in the comments. Should I cover healing moves next, or maybe rank terrain affected moves? If you enjoyed, make sure to hit that sub button. If you like this video, make sure to check this one out next. Thanks for watching, buds.